Seems to be a lot more planted in the road. Wow, there's okay, that's a new one. Well, that's the first on the channel. Very interesting. Okay, that's a new one. That horse is definitely coming towards us. Kids these days, eh? Interesting, very interesting. That's what we always roll camera around here. You see things like that and you're like, wow, is that what people do these days? Right, what's up guys? So today you join me from the driver's seat of a 2013 Mazda 3 MPS. Now this is one of those cars that, to me, I've never even sat in, never even driven, never even been anywhere near. This being the facelift model, it has the 2.3 litre turbocharged engine, the same one they use in the Ford Focus RS at the moment, the EcoBoost engine. This one, as standard, runs around 260 brake horsepower, and straight away jumping inside, I'm very impressed. I like the position of the seat and how firm but sort of accommodating it is to your body type. It's not too shaped around trying to be a race car, so you've got a great feel when you're sort of sat in it. Enough bolster support to keep you happy, but not too much so you feel uncomfortable in the car. The dash layout and, you know, where the gear selector is itself, the fact that it's quite close to the steering wheel, I really like. It's sort of positioned very nicely, so you're able to drop it into gears very quickly. See that? That's the good test. You can actually put a finger on there and your thumb on the steering wheel. Now the owner of this car, Ryan, is only 21 years old, and after, you know, shopping around for a new car for his job, you know, he does a lot of mileage. He wanted something that was automatic and something that was a little bit more, you know, comfortable to get him from A to B. His idea was to buy a new shape Lexus, like a 2012, 2013 plate one. But then he drove past this and had to go and see what it was all about. He drove it straight away and fell in love with the fact that it was, you know, so easy to drive. You could, you know, get everything in it. It was exciting enough, so, you know, when you did go to work on one road, you know, sat there 40 mile an hour, getting the MPG you want, and then you could blast it on a B road on the way home. And that's the thing I love about these newer hot hatches. You have no compromise between you actually, you know, jumping in the car and feeling, you know, comfortable and secure and nice in the car. It's got everything you could ever want. But on the other hand, it's got the power and the, you know, the excitement and the rawness, really, when it comes on boost, for you to have a good laugh out the other side. I love that when you sort of cycle through the boost, there is a boost gauge literally sat right in front of you in the cluster panel. Now this one's got a lot of optional extras with it as well. It's got the full Bose surround sound system, which is funny actually because the spare wheel has actually been taken out to make way for the subwoofer for the Bose sound system, which is speaking to the younger community, in my opinion. It speaks to, you know, the younger people that want tunes over-fixing their own car by the side of the road, and that is something that I like. It feels very poised when you drive it. The front wheels sort of turn in. The car hasn't got, you know, too much weight to it, in my opinion. It doesn't feel like you're, you know, lugging a big car around. Now this is running 280 foot-pound of torque from standard as well, and you can definitely feel that torque when you sort of come into the, you know, turbo especially. You can feel that that's the part that's, you know, sucking you back into the seat. So guys, here we are, beautiful location as ever, beautiful bit of B-road bashing on the way here, which always goes down well in my books. So let's have a look around this Mazda MPS. Now straight away, if this was my car, the black on black is the one I would choose. It's got a sort of pearlescent flick to the paint. Very, very deep, nice colour on this one. Also goes with the wheels, which have got a sort of a pearlescent flick to them. I do really like the styling on these. They look very happy to be going down the road and happy to be boosting through your neighbourhood and through the B roads. Obviously setting the MPS apart from the standard, they have this fantastic looking air intake at the top. Obviously you've got your intercooler top mounted just behind that. You've got directional HID headlights. You've got these fantastic looking wheels which go very well with the black paintwork. You've got Goodyear Eagle F1s on the front and the back to rein in the power of the car. Got this good looking side skirt down here to bring the bottom out a little bit. As you come around the back, this is my favourite part of these MPSs, of these, you know, Mazda 3s. The back is where it's at, in my opinion. This is where sort of the styling really gets, you know, good for me. I love the fact that, you know, you've got this big spoiler coming up. You've got the sort of boot that comes down, so you've got more than enough boot space. It's got a nice sort of flowing look, and then you've got this big bulged out bumper at the bottom to give it sort of more of a flare. And I like the way that sort of lights come round and flick round. And obviously the twin exit at the bottom with sort of a diffuser with the grey sort of paint at the bottom breaks it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this sort of style. You know, definitely with the Mazda 3s, they just got it right, in my opinion, with sort of the way the back end sort of looks. Jumping inside, you've got keyless entry as you come in, and you've got many mod cons, obviously, that you would expect to see on such a nice car like this. You've got a fantastic array of buttons on the steering wheel. Obviously, you can go through, you know, your sat nav and all your radio and stuff, cruise control. You've got heated seats, Bose sound system, which is very, very good. Obviously, you can control that from there. Got aircon. The dials, when you sort of jump in, the layout of the dials is very nice. You've got sort of a cut sort of tube going over the dials there. You've got your boost gauge in the middle. Very lovely place to be as well. You've got, you know, your cup holders. The gear stick arrangement is very close to the steering wheel, which I'm a huge fan of. Fantastic armrest as well that moves. You've got more than enough storage underneath there. Got an aux capability under there as well. And coming under the bonnet, you've got the 2.3 litre turbocharged engine, top mounted intercooler to go with that fantastic looking front end. For their class in 2013, I think they were, you know, new car wise, one of the fastest hot hatches that you could buy at the time. And if you wanted to modify it, you know, the engine internals will go to about 350, 400 brake with no problems whatsoever. You've got the KO4 turbo on it already, which obviously you can, you know, bang up a little bit if you fancy. And obviously, this being the Mark II, it gets the £290 a year road tax, so it's cheaper to tax than the Mark 1s. And the owner, Ryan, is getting about 40 to 45 mpg on the motorway. He's getting around, you know, mid 20s to 30, you know, going around 40 mile an hour, 50 mile an hour roads. And obviously, as you rein in the boost, that will come down, don't get me wrong. But you'd be stupid not to use it, in my opinion. And obviously this has the front LSD as well, so you can actually put the power down in these. Now, the previous car that I actually did to this shoot was a ST3 Mark III, and this is the same sort of brake horsepower standard. Obviously that one was modified and this one isn't. I think as a standard car, they're very good in sort of comparison between each other. They've still got the same sort of engine setup. I think these are, you know, running a bit more power than those are as standard. So yeah, all in all, very happy to be taking this car. It's a car I've always wanted to drive. You know, because it's something a little bit different. It's different to the Fords and Vauxhalls. So in my opinion, if you're looking at the Fords and the Vauxhalls, definitely take one of these out for a drive. So a little first and second gear pull for us. It definitely gets to the speed limit very quickly. That's what's impressed me the most, the fact that you don't really feel like you're going too fast for it being, you know, a newer car. It doesn't, you know, have the sensation of you going fast because it does it, you know, with no effort whatsoever. And that's what I love. The fact that Ryan bought this, you know, as a commuter, but he can have fun at the same time. He can get everything in the back. You know, it does the MPG that he was after, and you can still have a lot of fun. You know, the power is there, the grip is there. You know, the torque steer is minimal in my opinion. It seems to be a lot more planted in the road. Wow, there's, okay, that's a new one. Well, that's the first on the channel. Very interesting. Okay, that's a new one. That horse is definitely coming towards us. Kids these days, eh? Interesting, very interesting. That's what we always roll camera around here. You see things like that and you're like, wow, is that what people do these days? It's easy to maneuver as well. You've got parking sensors, and then when you do get to a P road, little bit of torque steer, but nothing to write home about. Again, these newer cars, although, you know, they have a little bit of torque steer, don't get me wrong, it's nothing, you know, that would surprise you anyway with this sort of power going through the front wheels. I love the boost meter as well. That's one of my favourite bits of the car, the fact the boost gauge is, you know, in your periphery all of the time. So my overall thoughts on this car, well, if you're looking for a, you know, good commuter, I think, easy clutch, still manual, with a bit of power, a bit of boot space, fantastic sound system, sat nav, heated seats, and a great driving feel as well, definitely go and give one of these a test drive. Go and drive your STs, go and drive your VXRs, and then, you know, come back and drive this and see what you think, see if the difference is there. I think there's a huge difference between all three of those cars, but this one, I think there's something a little bit different about it, and I quite like that. I like different. I don't think there's a big enough following for them, and I don't think there's a big enough modified following for them, especially in this country, in the UK. And I think, you know, the first generations ones, yeah, they're, you know, around the same sort of money as your STs and your VXRs. It's just great that I don't see them, and then it's nice to meet someone like Ryan, who's a bit younger, knows what he wanted, and then jumped in this and was, you know, so happy with how it drove, you know, what he was going to do with it, which is, you know, a lot of mileage at the end of the day for a car like this. So yeah, all in all, I definitely think this is one to look out for, and, you know, with it being a little bit rarer than the STs and the VXRs, I think it's what I would have personally, only because I like to be a little bit different and have something that, you know, other people haven't got. So guys, I hope you liked the video. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you think of this car in comparison to the VXRs and the STs. What are your thoughts? And if you have an MPS and you have modified it, let me know in the comments what you've done, what the failures are, what the plus points are between this engine and this, you know, sort of base car into the equivalent STs and VXRs. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers guys.